All right, in this video's lesson, we're going to be talking all about using scale factor to find the lengths of different sides in similar figures. So as a reminder, a scale factor is the ratio of any pair of corresponding sides in similar figures. Now, the order of the numbers is very important when you're talking about scale factor. You have to make sure you're using the right numbers going in the right direction. So we're going to start off pretty basic, just finding a single variable. Then we'll work our way up to finding two variables, and then we'll work our way into some harder equations, and then finally we'll get to where we're using a variable to find the length of a side. So that being said, let's take a look at this first example. So it tells us the triangle ABC is similar to DEF, and we want to find the value of x. So first off, let's go through and match up our sides. So it tells us that AB matches with DE. So that tells you that AB right here matches with DE. So x matches with 25. You have to have two matching sides in order to set a proportion, so let's keep going. It also tells us that BC matches with EF. So BC is 28, EF is 20. So good news, we've got our two matching sides, so let's set it up. X matched with 25, and then going in that same direction, 28 matched with 20. Okay, so now use a calculator to help you with your multiplication because we're going to be taking 25 multiplied by 28, which 25 multiplied by 28 is 700, is equal to, take x multiplied by 20 is 20x. We want to get x by itself, so the only thing we have left to do is divide each side by 20, and we're going to get that 35 is equal to x. All right, let's do the same thing on the next one. So we've got PQRS is similar to WXYZ. So our first side that we can talk about is that PQ is similar to WX. So PQ and WX. Unfortunately, if you notice, that doesn't give us any information. So let's go to the next one. So we're going to take QR is similar to XY. So QR similar to XY. And again, unfortunately, no information there. All right, let's keep going then. So RS goes with YZ. So RS, YZ. Hey, we've got some information. X and 32 match. Finally, on the last side, we have to kind of wrap around S to P. Matches with Z to W. So that means that the 40 and the 75 are going to match. We now have the information we need to set up our proportion. So our first sides that matched were the X to 32. So we're going to set that up as X over 32 is equal to, in that same direction, we're going to match up the 75 to the 40. And now we've got our proportion ready to solve. So let's first take X multiplied by 40 is 40X. Then we can take 32 multiplied by 75, which is 2,400. That leaves us with one step to go to solve for X. So we divide each side by 40, and we end up with X being equal to 60. All right, let's take a look at the next one. So now we're going to add kind of an extra variable in there. So now we're going to have to be solving two proportions instead of one. So let's do it. On our first one, we've got triangle DEF similar to triangle HJG. So first side is DE matches with HJ. So that's DE here, and that's HJ here. So 9 and 15 match. Hey, that's good news. That's one side already ready to go. Our next one is that EF matches with JG. So EF right here, JG right here, which is also good news. We've actually got another pair of sides that match with each other. And so let's go ahead and set up our first proportion. So we're going to set it up. We had the two red sides, so the 9 went to the 15, equals the two blue sides, so the 14 goes to the Y. Let's go ahead and cross multiply. So 9 multiplied by Y is 9Y, and 15 multiplied by 14 is 210. So now to get Y by itself, let's divide each side by 9. And we're going to get that Y is equal to, this time is going to be a decimal, it's going to be 23.3 repeating, or what I'll probably want you to write that as is going to be to the nearest 10th, so just 23.3. Okay, now we're not done. We only have one variable. We still have one more variable to go, which is that we're going to now match side FD to side GH. So 12 matches with x. That's actually going to give us a new proportion to solve. Now, we're still going to use that the 9 matches with the 15. But this time, we're also going to use the green sides to say that the 12 matches with the x. So now we've got our proportion set up. We can solve. Take 9 multiplied by x is 9x. Take 15 multiplied by 12 is 180. This time, when you divide by 9, you're not going to end up with any decimals. You're actually going to end up with x being equal to 20. All right, let's do another one kind of like that. So we've got triangle JKL matches with triangle, or is similar to triangle NML. So first sides that match, JK matches with NM. So that's going to be that 40 matches with 16. Hey, good news. We've already got a pair of matching sides. Next, we're going to say that KL matches with ML. So here's KL, ML, and now we've got enough for a proportion. So we already said that the 40 matched up with the 16. We can also say that X matched up with 14. All right, so now solving, we're going to go ahead and take 40 multiplied by 14 is going to be 560 is equal to, take 16 multiplied by X is going to be 16X. Now, to get X by itself, one last step to go, which is that we're going to divide 16 on each side, and we're going to get that 35 is equal to X. All right, let's continue because we've got 2 more sides to match up, which is the L wrapping around to J. So this last side here matches with L wrapping around to M, so this side here. So the 45 matches with Y. That's going to be the other proportion that we're going to use. So once again, we're going to use the 40 matched up with the 16. Now we're also going to use the fact that 45 matched with Y to set up our proportion. So now to solve, we'll take 40 multiplied by Y is 40Y is equal to, take 16 multiplied by 45 is 720. So now to get Y by itself, take each side, divide by 40, and we're going to get that Y is equal to 18. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. So now we're going to do kind of the same thing. The only thing that's going to make these next 2 problems a little bit different is that they've just got a little bit harder proportions to solve. So let's go ahead and set them up though. So on this first one, we've got the triangle AGM is similar to triangle KXD. So the first side AG matches with side KX. So hey, we've already got a match. Next, we're going to use GM similar to XD. So GM, XD, and we've actually got another match. All right, so let's match up our sides. 32 matched up with X plus 3 is equal to 36 matched up with X plus 6. All right, so let's go ahead and cross multiply. We're going to get 32 multiplied by, in parentheses, X plus 6 is equal to, I'm going to put the 36 in front, and then in parentheses, X plus 3. Really important to make sure that those expressions with the variables, so X plus 6 and X plus 3, both go into parentheses. Super important, can't overstate that. Let's go and distribute then. So we've got 32X plus, if you take 32 multiplied by 6, is 192. Is equal to 36X plus 108. All right, let's start moving some stuff around. Let's get rid of our variables from the left side, so we'll subtract 32X from each side. So now we've got that 192 equals 4X plus 108. Now we'll move the 108 to the other side. So we'll subtract 108 from each side. That leaves us with 84 being equal to 4X. I'm going to go ahead and copy that up here just to get a little bit more room. So to get X by itself, we've just got 1 step left to go. Divide each side by 4, and we get that X is equal to 21. All right, let's take a look at another example kind of like that. So we've got triangle QRS similar to triangle TUV. So QR is our first side, matches with TU, and we've got a match of sides. Let's keep going. So RS matches with UV. So RS matches with UV. Now we can go ahead and set up our proportion. So we had the 24 matched with x plus 5. We also had that 54 matched with 36. All right, so now we can set up our proportion. We're going to take 54 multiplied by x plus 5 is equal to, take 24 multiplied by 36, which is 864. And now we can start to solve our equation. So let's go ahead and distribute. 54 multiplied by x is 54x, and 54 multiplied by 5 is 270. All right, so let's start solving for x. We'll subtract 270 from each side. So that'll leave us with 54x on the left side is equal to, if you take 864 minus 270, you end up with 594. So then just one step to go to get x by itself. Divide by 54 on each side, and we're going to come up with x being equal to 11. All right. We've got 4 more problems. We've got 2 more, or 1 more where we're just finding the variable, and then the last 3 where we are finding a particular side length. So there'll be kind of one extra thing that we'll do at the very end when we get to those problems. Let's go ahead and take a look at our last one where we're just getting the variable. So we've got triangle ABC, similar to triangle ADE, and we're wanting to find the value of x. Okay, so that first tells us that AB matches with AD. Well, AB is this entire side length. That's actually 20 plus 8 is 28 for that entire side length of A to B. AD, on the other hand, is just this piece from A to D, which is 20. So 28 matches with 20. For our next side length, we're going to take BC and match it up with DE. So BC here matches with DE here. And at that point, we've actually got 2 sides. So let's go ahead and set those up. We have that 28 matched with 20 is equal to 2x plus 3 matched with 15. Let's go ahead and do our cross multiplication. So we're going to have 20 multiplied by 2x plus 3 is equal to, taking 28 multiplied by 15, you're going to get 420. All right. Now, something I notice, maybe you do too, is that both 20 and 420 are divisible by 20. So let's just make this a little bit easier problem. We'll say that 2x plus 3 is equal to, take 420 divided by 20, which is 21. If you don't recognize that, then you would just have to distribute the 20 instead, but that's all, no big deal. Let's go ahead and solve for x now, so let's subtract 3 from each side. So we get that 2x is equal to 18. I'll go ahead and finish that up here. So to get x by itself, divide by 2, and we come up with x being equal to 9. All right, so these last few problems are a little bit different just because we're going to have to find a side at the end of it. So in addition to solving, we're also going to have to plug our number back in to come up with a side length. All right, so let's get started. We've got TL matches up with CH. So TL matches up with CH, so that means that 25 matched with 10. Next, we have the LY matches with HK. So LY, HK, and I think we've got all the matches we need. So first off, we said that 25 and 10 went together. Next, we said that 4x minus 1 and x plus 5 went together. All right, so if we take 25 and multiply by x plus 5 in parentheses, should be equal to taking 10 multiplied by 4x minus 1 in parentheses. All right, so when we distribute here, 25 multiplied by x is 25x. 25 multiplied by 5 is 125. On the other side, 10 multiplied by 4x is 40x, and 10 multiplied by negative 1 is negative 10. Let's get all of our variables to one side then, so we'll subtract 25x from each side. So that leaves us with 125 on the left is equal to 15x minus 10 on the right. All right, so then let's add over the 10. So 125 plus 10 is 135 is equal to 15x is now by itself. So to get x, we'll just divide each side by 15, and we'll come up with 9 being equal to x. Now what makes this problem different is that it actually wants us to find the side length ly, which ly was 4x minus 1. So now what we need to do is we need to take 9 and plug that in for x. So that would be 4 multiplied by 9 minus 1, which is 36 minus 1. So the side length of ly is actually going to be 35. All right. Let's go ahead and look at a couple more kind of like that so you can see how it's different when you want to find a side length at the end. Not a whole lot different about it. Pretty basic, as long as you know how to solve a proportion. All right. So we've got the MNP is similar to QRP. So first off, we know that MN, QR match up with each other. Unfortunately, that doesn't give us any information to set up our proportion. So let's go on to the next side. We've got the NP matches with RP. So NP, RP, hey, we've got a couple sides that match. So let's go back around. P back to M matches with P back to Q. All right, that should give us what we need to set up our proportion. So we first had that 3x minus 9 was proportional to x plus 8. We now have that 28 is proportional to 24. So now we can go ahead and do our cross multiplying. So we're going to take 24, and then in parentheses, 3x minus 9 is equal to 28, and then in parentheses, the x plus 8. All right, so let's go ahead and distribute. 24 multiplied by 3x is going to be 72x, and then 24 multiplied by 9 is going to be a minus 216. On the right side, 28x is what you'll get when you multiply 28 and x, and then 28 multiplied by 8 is 224. All right, let's get all of our variables to one side. So I'm going to subtract 28x from each side. That's going to give me 44x on the left side minus 216 is equal to, on the right side, 224. All right, so let's add 216 over to the right side. So on the left side, I'm going to go ahead and continue this up here. We're just going to have the 44x is equal to 224 plus 216 is going to be 440. So now to get x by itself, take each side, divide by 44. And we're going to come up with x being equal to 10. Now again, our goal was to find PR, which is 3x minus 9. So we need to take 10 and plug it in for x. So that becomes 3 multiplied by 10 is 30 minus 9, and 30 minus 9 is 21. All right, one last problem. Let's take a look at it. So we've got that BC matches up with FG. So here's BC, here's FG. So far, so good. Next, we have that CD matches with GE, and unfortunately, we don't get anything from that. So finally, D wrapping back to B, and E wrapping back to F. We get that 5x minus 2 and 42 match up. We're now ready to set up our proportion. Let's first start with the 39 and the 4x plus 2 that we found. Set that equal to the 42 and the 5x minus 2. All right, so now let's go ahead and do our cross multiplying. We're going to take 39 multiplied by 5x minus 2 is equal to our 42 multiplied by 4x plus 2. All right, so let's go ahead and distribute now. We're going to take 39 multiplied by 5 is going to be 195x minus 39 multiplied by 2 is going to be 78 is equal to, I'm going to take 42 multiplied by 4 is 168x, and 42 multiplied by 2 is 84. All All right, so let's get all of our variables to one side. We'll subtract 168x from each side. So on the left side, that'll leave us with 27x minus 78 equals 84. Now we can add over the 78. So we'll have 27x is equal to 84 plus 78 is 162. Go ahead and finish that up here. So 27x equal to 162. We just had one step left to go, which is to divide by 27. And we're going to come up with that x is equal to 6. Now, once again, remember what makes these different is we're looking for a particular side. In this case, we wanted FE, which was 5x minus 2. So our last step is let's take 6, plug it in for x. So 5 multiplied by 6 minus 2, which becomes 30 minus 2, which tells us our final answer is 28. All right, that's it for this video. Until next time, have a great day.